Then we'll have questions for Clay and Mike. Thank you.
Well, obviously happy with the win. This first game is the game that gives you the opportunity to win the Beanpot, and I know our guys were really prepared coming in. There was a good focus. There was a good week of preparation. We had a little extended time because of a quirk in the schedule, and I thought we used it to our advantage. And I thought the players were really focused all week long. So coming into tonight, we had a lot of respect for the Harvard team, and they're a good team with a lot of skill. And I just thought our guys were really ready to go when that opening face-off happened. And I think we got up on them 2 goals, and it gave us a little bit of a jump. And then of course Clay was tremendous again back in the net. And when you have the confidence that we're playing with because of our goaltending, allows us to do some things and offensively continue to get some pucks to the net. So overall, obviously happy with the win. It gives us an opportunity to be in the championship game against either a good BU or BC team. So we'll obviously celebrate tonight, and then we got to get our focus right back onto UMass Amherst on Friday night in the league, and we've got 6 games left in the league, and really coming down to the wire with the Hawkeys, and those are 2 critical, valuable points.
Thanks, Coach. If you could open up the question to the student athletes with Nancy right here.
Nancy Marapee's Boston Globe. Clay, losing Manson so early, and you've got such a young defense. Could you take me through what it was like for those guys to step up the way they did and protect things in front of you?
Yeah, that's a huge loss for us. He's an outstanding player. He's from the Harvard team, and we kind of knew that everybody had to pitch in a little bit. We had some really guys really step up big, and I thought we did a great job of that. And in all situations, those guys played well.
At Luke Sport, SB Nation. Mike, just being the 2nd leading freshman scorer in the country at this point in the season, can you talk about what's gone right, how you've been able to sort of assimilate to college hockey this quickly?
I have to give the credit to my teammates and the upperclassmen and the coaching staff. Right from the beginning, not just me, but all my other freshmen in the class have had such an easy transition because the guys have coached us into the system and how it works and stuff, and just made it really comfortable. And I just try to go out every night and help Northeastern win. Fortunately, good things are happening.
Right here.
Chris Judd, Huntington News. Clay and Mike, this is both of your first Beanpots. I mean, Clay, I know you've been on the team before, but you haven't really been the starter. What was it like playing in the Beanpot? How much does this tournament mean to you?
It's a great experience. It's definitely something fun to be a part of. It's a real highlight for the year. And yeah, this is my first one playing in, but I've obviously got to see kind of how ones before me, and I don't know. It's just you get to kind of see how everybody does, and yeah.
Yeah, I agree with Clay. I mean, growing up, I always watched it on TV, and last year I remember watching it. It's just really something special to be a part of. And tonight we wanted to make sure we gave ourselves an opportunity to play in the finals, and we did that. We're going to take it 1 game at a time, and come next Monday we'll be ready to go.
Take 2 more questions, student athletes. Andy.
Andy Merritt from the New England Hockey Journal. Mike, you talked about you and your classmates and your sort of adjustment to the college game. None of you are sort of typically young for freshmen. You've all had a few years of junior or whatever it is before you came into the college game. How much has that helped you kind of get comfortable, playing against the bigger boys in the league, that kind of thing?
I think it's helped a lot. I mean, me myself being an older guy, you know what to expect a little bit, and the age difference isn't as much the same as what class you're in. So I think that has a lot to do with it. And yeah, the experience always helps. And we have a lot of older guys in the freshman class and some younger guys, but we're really close. And not just as a freshman class, but as a full team. We're a family, and we help one another. So, yeah.
Alex, right here.
Alex Faust, USCHO. Mike, you guys had an extra day off without a Friday game coming into this tournament. Did that help or hurt your preparation coming into the game? Did it make you maybe have your mind wander off and think about this tournament and what you could do in it?
I mean, to a certain extent, I mean, I think it's hard not to think about it, but the coaches and the upperclassmen and everyone in general did a good job of keeping our heads in the right spot, and we had a really good week of practice, and I think that helped tonight. And we're gonna approach the same way for next Monday, but right now we have to worry about Friday's game first.
All right, Clay and Mike, thanks for your time. You guys can head back to the locker room now.
Jim Conley from U.S. College Hockey Online. Can you talk about your team's instinct with the lead this year? It seems, remembering back to last year and some of the leads that you let slip, it just doesn't seem to be even something that's on their mind. They're always about going for the jugular.
Yeah, I think we've developed that a little bit more lately, Jim. This is a different team than last year, and this is a team that I really like this team because they come to practice every day, working their rear ends off. They want to get better each and every day. And a lot of that has to do with we got a lot of young players. There's an infusion of young, energized young men out there. But it's great to see, and Mike Szmatula talked about it. The Braden Pims who are all excited about those types of players, and the Josh Mansons, and so it's a group that truly does get along very well. And then as a team, those freshmen who've contributed, it's pushed the upperclassmen, and Braden Pims, having 16 goals, and some of the other guys who are taking more advantage offensively, and so we're in a pretty good rhythm now offensively. Now you got to keep working at that. It just doesn't happen overnight. So it's taken us a while to get there, and that's something we've been working on, trying to develop that. And it worked out tonight, but we got to you got to keep focused on every game.
Jim Madigan, Boston Globe.
Mike.
If you could just maybe initially address the loss of your captain at that point in the game, and what concerns that you have about, it being kind of a tipping point maybe for them in terms of gaining some traction in that game.
Yeah, it was a big concern. It's our captain. He's our leader off the ice, on the ice. He's our emotional leader. We know the type of player he is, a physical player. He keeps the opposition on edge. That's how he impacts the game, and losing him that early was, hurt us because we also came in down a defenseman, and with Dustin Drew and Jared Fennell dressed and got a lot of confidence. Jared Fennell, he just hasn't played an awful lot, so all of a sudden when you lose Manson, now you're down to 5 defensemen and one who hasn't played an awful lot. And I thought Jared Fennell did a real good job and handled himself well, but it put a lot of onus on 4 guys back there for 2 periods. So that hurt us, and then obviously we had to kill off a 5-minute major, so we're up 2-0. They score on into different games. So I thought that juncture in the game was a good, I don't want to say turning point, but a momentum builder for us because we killed it and we're able to go in the locker room up 2-0.
Nancy?
To continue on that same vein, Jim, Nancy Marcus from the Globe. Could you talk could you talk a little bit about how you how you parceled out the minutes there, and were any of those guys that you were rolling out there stand out more than another for you and play more minutes?
As the game went along, if you remember, after there was an altercation, we had 3 defensemen in the penalty box, and then you have Manson, sitting in locker room 3. So it was difficult. We actually moved Johnny Stevens back there, to get ready to take a shift, and we had, we told Matt Benning to go out there and double shift. Basically, don't come off. It's almost like youth hockey. Don't come off until we call you back to the bench. So you had to juggle it. So I thought Patrick Foley did a real good job, getting guys fresh, and then we, Jerry Keefe talked to the forwards about being a little bit helpful with our defensemen, knowing that we need to get out of that stretch, and then Mike Gunn had a double minor, so he sat in there 2 minutes afterward.